Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We're here, going to be here for about another hour to take you around the NFT industry and back. Hopefully, you learned something that time. If you don't, oh well, you'll have a good time. Huda, DP, Gifted, I am Nifty Q. We're excited to be bringing you this episode. Everybody that's showing up early, Christian Jensen, Dubious, WX. If you're watching here on YouTube or on X, we very much appreciate you all. If you could give a share of the show while you're here as well, that would mean a lot to us. Huda, how are you doing, sir?
Good, dude. Good. Just got done writing my newsletter, which it's always awesome when that's done. One, because it's a huge relief. I hate writing, but two, because it's like where I do my deep dive into the market and I like kind of learn some shit, right? Like some interesting facts. Like we hit a 1-year high in unique buyers this past week. Previous high was exactly 1 year ago. So interesting place we're at in the market, but also like NFT sales, dude. 2024 high we hit last week as well. Just everything you guys are feeling out there, right? Like things are getting very, very spicy. That's exactly what the numbers show too. So feeling really good.
Yeah, we were talking pre-episode here. DP brought in the Fear and Greed Index. That kind of, I don't want that to douse on anybody's parade here, though. But DP, you were sharing that here. We'll get into that in just a second. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be here on a Taco Tuesday, rocking out with the fam. I had the spare time, so I figured why not spend it with in one of my favorite spaces, man, NFT Live.
I love it, man. We're happy to have you whenever you want. Doors wide open. Gifted off GM Web3, sir.
Yeah, fun show, exciting. People getting heated. There's a lot happening. Everybody's wanting to get in the mix, and it's exciting times. You were mentioning, Huda, that like the numbers are all sort of directionally looking like we are indeed entering into a bull. That was part of, like, Jess came in with that question up front on GM Web3 today. Like, what is it? Like, why are we actually thinking that this might be a bull? And so I actually referenced some of those numbers and the things that you were covering in your 5-minute video. There's a bunch of different things. One of the other things that Sarah brought up too, but also like VCs are starting to invest again. Like that's another example. The scammers are back. We know that that's a bull signal. There's just this confluence of a lot of energy and a lot of different indicators. You're looking at NFT numbers. You're looking at, to your point, the sort of just macro crypto numbers. They're all directionally pointing in the same way right now.
Absolutely. It's pretty clear, and like all those points you mentioned, and it's like just even looking at patterns in the chart, which is kind of hard to do with NFTs, but certain things just you look at it and it's kind of clear. We can pull up later. I've got some charts that really show it. The most interesting of all is like sellers decreasing while buyers increasing, and that usually just kind of does one thing. So just interesting stuff, man.
All right, apparently the White House doesn't care about this bull market. They're trying to put a pause on Bitcoin mining, put significant strain on the power grid. Thanks. Fucking God damn it.
These fucking assholes, man. Wow.
Can't have a good day. I am going to mention up front, I know you guys are trying to have a good day and stare at green charts, but I did want to bring in that Fear and Greed Index. Before I do so, Biggie Poppins, sir, is that a real that might be a real background?
It actually looks like
it looks real.
Wow.
It does look real.
Oh, you're muted.
Devil.
Hello.
There we go.
There we go. All right, yeah, fake background, fellas.
Yeah, up in your tech game. How are you doing, sir?
We can't even know his background. We can't know his Bitcoin address, and he doesn't want us to even know what's behind him right now.
No, sir. You don't want to see. You don't want to see my dirty laundry gift.
We might be able to triangulate his specific coordinates if we know what's behind him.
Nice pad.
Body parts.
It's a sex dungeon back there. We all know it.
All right. This is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just talking about cool shit on the internet. Do your own research. We have the Fear and Greed Index. I know you came for the positivity. What is going on here, Huda? DP?
Man, so I looked at the Fear and Greed Index, which a lot of us DGens and Web3 veterans like to look at too, to see where we are at in the market when it comes to gauging like where we're at in the bull run. And to my surprise, I wasn't expecting to see extreme greed. even though I don't necessarily agree with it, I think the indicator might be a little broken, or I think that it might be playing off of the hype that has occurred within the last 24 hours with all of the VCs and hedge funds kind of like diving into these ETFs. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think we're at extreme greed. I think we're more towards the middle of the indicator.
All right, we're looking across the market. Everything seems to be doing well for the most part. Do you guys have any takes on that indicator being at extreme greed? Obviously, it's not going to be foolproof. It doesn't mean it's right. But just having that indicator be an extreme greed, are we due for some type of pullback over the weekend or something like that?
Yeah, I wish I knew the algorithm, right? Like, how do they measure it? It's something to do with price and then volume and then the type of buying action. Like, there's some secret sauce to get them there. But I really believe what we're seeing is incredibly organic, and we're finally feeling that buy pressure that really is a byproduct of the ETF. Something has changed out there. Something has definitely changed. So maybe I would think that it reflects that, and that could make sense. But I think we all know, because we live in the space, that it's this way for a reason right now. You know what I mean? Like, people are buying crypto because there's a there's strong conviction in it right now.
One of the top performers here over the last 7 days at this point in all of crypto is Pepe. Gif, I don't give you a lot of pats on the back for some of the calls here. I kind of let you shout it out. But as far as like a couple calls that you've made that I can at least give you, some flowers for, Pepe. I mean, that was an extremely good call. Between this summer and now, there could have been a lot of things. But when you made that actual call to sell the ape and go into Pepe, I mean, that call was right.
It was the mistake I made was I made the move too quickly into Pepe. If I just taken my time a little bit more and waited for it to kind of bottom out, before I started, moving into Pepe, I'd be sitting even better than I am. Because like right now I'm not even quite break. Like, I'm maybe close to break even. The
Bored Apes was at 50.
Yeah, so I guess maybe if you're looking at the Bored Ape 4, then I'm doing okay. Yeah, look, I appreciate that. I make plenty of good calls. I make plenty of bad calls too. It's a mixed bag over here. But look, the Pepe meme is like literally the OG meme. I don't know, like again, this is one of those where I didn't mid curve it. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like far left curving. It's the obvious thing. It's it's the Pepe coin that became the meme coin for the Pepe meme, and it's the like original internet meme of all memes. It's literally that dumb of a thesis.
It's kind of like that Trump token. I mean, like a similar thing. As shitty as that could be, but it's just like, well, it's because of the name. It's because it's obvious.
You know what? Let's go to MAGA. Might as well. Every day. Oh,
Jesus.
More stairs up. 5:30, folks. We were selling this at like $1. I think Mike bought it at like 50 cents. Every week we have to have a check-in on Trump.
Jesus. How do you feel about pork?
I have not looked at pork, sir. I've seen it across my timeline. I've seen dog with hat is everywhere, and pork. Yes, I've seen that.
Look, my whole thing is that Polly's not my cup of tea. So I just try and kind of avoid that, because I think a lot of the way that he built his own name and his sort of like following and his wealth was basically through the most cynical attack on other people in the space that we're building. And so it's just not my energy. But like, dude, you can't deny that like he has built a following and there's people that really fuck with him. It's kind of like Beanie a little bit. Like Beanie's not even as like aggressively bad to me or obnoxious, in that regard. And I also, again, it's like I I can hold the nuanced truth that like he is a talented edgelord, like he is a meme lord. He does something very well.
Yeah,
that's why he's been successful. You know what I mean? So it's like I can understand why there's something there that people like and still say it's not for me. Just like I think I was the first one in here that said, yo, the Trump cards and the Trump tokens are gonna fucking go parabolic, but I'm not gonna buy it. I can accept the truth and also say it's not for me. That's kind of how I feel about it.
We're going to touch on the market here as the episode progresses. This is the biggest news of the day. Magic Eden says Better Waters Ethereum Marketplace now live. Trailer Maxis.
Wow.
All right, and here it is. The Magic Eden ETH Market. Yeah, that's kind of anticlimactic, isn't it? Ethereum Marketplace is now live here on Magic Eden. We get to see our beautiful ETH Vitalik chain NFTs on Magic Eden for the first time.
Go click on
all of it
reward.
there.
Click on rewards up there in the top right.
Yeah, I'm not
So
gonna,
scroll down just a little bit so you can see the diamond quests here. So this is how they are rewarding, and this is exactly what we said. Like I know I was saying this, I think everybody sort of agreed that they very strategically launched the diamond rewards before launching this big Ethereum marketplace, because a lot of this success, especially in terms of trying to get more people on board with supporting royalties, comes down to properly incentivizing people to be here. And I really hope that people will fuck around with it and play with it, because also a lot of people, like I think Huda, you're one of these people that's been saying this is sort of like the final test, the final boss for the creator royalty thesis. If this sinks or swims, it'll definitely either help or hurt the creator royalty thesis. I hope it succeeds. I hope people fuck with it and want to see creators continue to be supported in the space and be an important part of the space. So that's my thought.
Huda, break down that thought. I need to hear this.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. We've had this debate about royalties now for years. And while we had those debates, there was no building, right? It was just a lot of like heated spaces conversations about, are royalties needed? Are they deserved? All that stuff, right? And finally, we're at the point where people weren't just talking about it. They started building solutions to it. So like this Ethereum marketplace, like the Frame L2 that's coming, right? These are things that have royalties enforced, kind of at the platform level. So now it's time for us to see if creators are right, where creators say they are needed and they work. Well, now we're going to find out. And we're also going to find out if traders truly are willing to pay them. I mean, it's do or die time for it.
Yeah.
And I think if it doesn't work, right, if we see, maybe volume move away from here or never really make it here and just stick over on Blur, then we have our answer. And that conversation in a way has to die.
Interesting. I do want to add a caveat that the timeline right now for us is obviously leaning bullish. I think the real test will be in that same cycle where the NFTs and creator royalties first started ending was at the start of the last bear market. So the start of the next bear market will be, in my opinion, a better test for this. Obviously, when people are making money, they're more apt to pay those creator royalties. I just think it's a different look.
I don't think of it quite in such a binary or dramatic black and white as like, if this doesn't do incredibly well, then the narrative is dead. I don't necessarily buy that, because I don't think that the creator royalties debate will ever actually die. I just think that like we need alternatives that actually work and in practice and not just in theory, which is what you were pointing out, Huda, is that we've been in this sort of like theoretical debate phase, and now we're moving into seeing some of these products and how they perform and moving from there. But I don't think you're entirely wrong that like if it fails, that's not really hurtful. You know, like I think that it would definitely set back you know, the narrative, I think, but yeah, I just don't think it's necessarily like as black and white, do or die, because I don't see that debate just dying.
All right, Utes are highlighted here, 50% bonus on the diamond rewards, other side codas as well. So there's several Ethereum projects here chosen as like this bonus for
Utes had a cool
diamonds.
announcement on this yesterday.
Biggie or DP, do you have a thought?
I'll let Biggie go first.
On bonuses?
On the announcement, the Magic Eden announcement.
Yeah, creator
release.
royalties, yay, and let's see if it plays out. Like Huda said, I've stated what I feel about Magic Eden. It's great, it's awesome. Let's see how it plays out, though. That's the more important. Now we're in the field. Now we don't get to fucking postulate. Let's see who the fuck gives a shit about this or not, and let's end this goddamn debate once and for all.
Are you guys trading? Are you guys tracking Ethereum marketplaces, like the data there?
No, actually, we have the data. I don't think we have like an actual comparison on site yet. Yeah, no, no way to compare it on site. The data is there though.
It's a great point. It's a great, yeah. Are you guys using Magic Eden? Like, is this the Ethereum projects you're trading? Are you going to Magic Eden?
I will try it. That's for sure. I'll definitely peek and I'll look, and certainly if something's priced, better here. And I always pay my royalties anyways, no matter the chain. And I'm I very much like Magic Eden now. So they right off the bat, they've earned my support. So I'll be shopping there. I just don't buy a ton where it matters yet.
The rest of you?
It depends. I do have my
right now. Literally.
Yeah, I have my purposes for Magic Eden. It just depends on the experience when I go over there. Like I mean I have no problem with creative royalties at all.
All right, so
go
ahead, DP. I'll finish up.
No. I was just gonna say, I think that Magic Eden is slowly but surely kind of like wrapping its talons around the NFT marketplace competition. Right? I'm curious to see what's next on the roadmap, because I'm sure that like this is one rollout, but I'm sure they're probably already working on the next phase, as into what they want to roll out to kind of like continue to take market share from everybody else.
All right, Mumbot's in the house. GM to you, Mumbot, saying I like that Pac-Man Ghost bandana. So you're getting some love.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. I try to do what I can do. I try to add a little bit of flavor.
Matches the background, matches the alive. But yeah, shout out Mumbot. It's awesome to have you here. We love everything that she's doing. And again, it would be great to have you back some point as a special guest to talk about all of the cool things that you've been working on. But yeah, Utes, I think, are actually doing a really interesting initiative around this move. So their pinned tweet says, starting today, we're enforcing royalties with Magic Eden, but here's the twist. 100% of the royalties will be used on two things: buying Utes and then endorsing Utes creators with X badges. So all of their royalties that they're going to be making are basically going to funding sweeping their floor and endorsing creators with badges on X. So like, that's a pretty cool, I don't know. That's a pretty cool use case, I guess.
I don't like that. I want to like it. Like in theory, I like to see a project supporting, their baby in a way, or supporting the community. But I remember for a while, I mean, it was not a good look to see projects sweeping their floor, and essentially that's what they're doing here. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one.
Yeah, there's an element to this that's happening in Say right now too, where the expectation when some projects do this, then the community has an expectation of like, oh, you could add this as a utility, or this should be a utility. Yeah, if they're using royalties to buy back the collection, I wonder, how much that gets played out in the community's kind of look. I mean, do have. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if we're saying these creators need these royalties to build use that money to keep building and delivering. Buying your floor is not doing that.
But it's a narrative that can then feed in on itself that, right? The collection starts trading, you make more on royalties.
It is that, but yeah, they are supporting it in two different ways. One is what Q just said, is that like if the collection's succeeding, the floor's sustaining and going up, all of that helps the creators continue to build, but also specifically endorsing and building the rapport of the creators in the community is like also supporting that community.
Yeah, that part I like. That part of the announcement for sure.
All right, I'm gonna quickly go back to this Magic Eden piece. We are thrilled to launch our ETH Marketplace today, a fresh start, a new home for ETH, only on Magic Eden. It feels like the alpha here is this piece. Bring the magic back. 20 projects launching in the next week, starting with OK Dogs. Looks like partner with non-fungible data, supercharged digital ownership on ETH through NFT token. So, but it does feel like maybe the launch pad is something to keep an eye out for if you're looking to potentially get into new collections or new mints. Getting rewarded with diamond rewards is going to lead people to probably get interested in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. Again, what do projects do with these royalties? Do they build and we get to watch that unfold right in front of us? This is going to be a very, very exciting time about, learning about the space. So I like that. I think we saw Sappy Seals have a collection. I think it was them, but like a physical collection. So we do get some new NFTs coming from some pretty big name projects out of this. So, and I'm sure, maybe this is one of those cases where they're saving the best for last. Maybe we get something big out of this, like hell, maybe a Yuga Labs mint. Not that anybody wants more Yuga NFTs at the moment. They kind of got a lot, but that would also be exciting.
There was a lot of hopium going around about ApeCoin integration with this marketplace. So we'll see if anything comes of it. What's up?
I was assuming that would happen. Exactly that. I thought it would be like buy any NFT with ApeCoin. That would be huge.
Well, they pushed it was a Yuga / Magic Eden announcement, right? Like they were a part of it. That you've seen Curtis on all the ads.
Yeah.
Marty saying blast, blast, blast. We'll get to it, sir. We got you. We have you. I'm gonna drop.
There's an interesting Magic Eden Marketplace versus what's happening on Blast dynamic here too, and that to me is maybe the most exciting thing to be watching here.
All right, we can go into Blast here in just a moment. Huda, stay with that thought, and then we can get to it. I am going to drop a poll. So the marketplaces, as I see them right now, again, you still have OpenSea around, Magic Eden, Blur, Rarible. Like, is there another marketplace that I'm leaving out there that I can add onto this poll? Because I'm interested in where people are trading right now on Ethereum.
That's the bulk of it. I don't know that anybody's really using X2, Y2, and looks rare. I think barely touched at this point.
I do all my trades OTC. So hit me in the Discord in the back alley. Let's do some deals. You brought up Sappy Seals. Did they tease that they're launching a token?
Ooh, did they? I didn't see.
I thought there was a physical token or something like token.
Maybe that's what it is. Because I've seen, we know that Sappy Seals has been pumping. They 2x or something last week. And then I've seen people putting them in these lists of DeFi NFTs or something. So I don't know. Let us know if you know what the announcement on Sappy Seals is.
All right, funny, that's the meta right now. Projects just getting token allocations. I mean, man, it's a good way to keep your community happy.
Pudgy's doing it very well, I think, better than anybody else. All right, the poll is live there in chat. Are you using Magic Eden now? OpenSea, Rarible, Blur, or Magic Eden? You have the option. Which are you going to use? Which are you going to use now, today, going forward? All right, Huda, I'm going to give you some spotlight here. You were talking about that Blast announcement. Leading into a couple of these Magic Eden Marketplace pieces as well. So let's touch on Blast. We obviously see over 2 billion locked up. We had a great convo on GM Web 3 about it. So let's tie it in real quick to this Magic Eden piece, and then let's dive into Blast.
Yeah, let me think of the best way to tie it in. I mean, other than the obvious thing, I'm watching Magic Eden to see, does it pull more volume away from OpenSea? Does it pull that volume from Blur? But all of a sudden with Blast opening up, and I'm assuming a whole bunch of new NFT mints over there, do we see that become a big liquidity suck out of Ethereum and people want to trade over on the Blast platform, over on that blockchain, and for a while? Is that truly going to be more disruptive than just DeFi platforms and all that? Does it actually take ETH guys' attention completely away from Ethereum NFTs? There's a possibility. That's really what I'm watching for.
So what you're basically saying is Blast just taking away mindshare from and actual cash in liquidity from these different chains.
I mean, if those kind of the traders it's targeting for the most part were trading on Blur already, right?
It's kind of already done that though, just by like having $2 billion locked over there. In a way, it's already done that.
But incentivizing that even more, because, you know, I think the concern was, does that money just exit as soon as it's unlocked? Are people running with that money? And the answer is no, because they have more incentives, more ways to reward to keep that money in that ecosystem. So again, do people keep that money there and even put more in there?
All right,
I think it's going to come down to how that is stated, right? Like if a lot of these projects are going to say, yeah, we're going to share this drop with you, but you know, it's going to depend on how long you stake and what the multiple and that's going to be represented in points or some shit. Then you might see some people exit, right? Like I don't know how long you can keep people there with points, and I think it's going to depend a lot on like how these rewards are stated going forward. If they can keep the casino interest open, let's see.
There's an interesting play in here with Wasi's collection as well, potentially getting an airdrop. I believe that's for Blast. I think that's on the Blast side.
That's for Blast. It's for Loom Dart's pump meme token on Blast. And yeah, they don't go and buy them now, folks. The snapshot is over, by the way. So don't do that. But yeah, if you were to have gotten some Wazis before the snapshot, you would be rewarded with, I think, up to 3 different airdrops right now have been stated. Wazis I think, are going to do well in the Blast ecosystem.
I'd be interested to see what other projects are launching over there. I'm going to bring up 2 Blast announcements. I'm just sharing out the last bit of the show. But we do have these 2 Blast announcements. So obviously crossing 2 billion TVL, 157,000 users, quote unquote. Again, you make sure you take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Community members are now earning yield plus Blast points. Stay tuned for mainnet February 29th. That, again, is in 2 days. And then you have this other announcement here. 3,000 teams started building on Blast during the competition. We selected 47 winners from that group with the help of a bunch of different profiles here. Winners announced below. And then I don't see any winners. Where are the winners?
Go down to the go down. That's not it.
That looks like a scam.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right.
All right, I'm probably on the wrong post. Let me see if I can get. Maybe that was a retweeted post. I'll try to find the winners here. But yeah, I mean, Marty gave a pretty nuanced take, but also a very simplistic one. There's a ton of money. Pac-Man knows what to do with it. That's only going to feed in on itself. We're seeing a little bit of this like indirectly through Bitcoin, right? There's a ton of fucking money on Bitcoin. Clearly, ordinals are benefiting from that. So pretty simplistic take, but I think it's the right one.
The thing that I'll add to take it just a little bit, like a half a step deeper, it's becoming way more clear to me the longer that I've been in the space, the more that I've been to conferences and events, talking to people, hearing how people talk about this shit in the spaces. It's just become so much more clear to me that the majority of the protocols, the builders, and the products that have been in the space are engineers. They're tech guys, and they don't understand that what's truly important and valuable is the user experience, getting daily active users, and most of them don't know how to achieve this. They like literally, I've heard people talk about the tech and their transactions per seconds and why the tech is so great, but the tech is not usually the thing that wins. A lot of times it's not the best tech that wins. It's the ones that can get the fucking user adoption, create a cool user experience, market the shit out of it, and get people in their ecosystem. That's ultimately what fucking matters. And so that's why at the end of the day, like, as long as the tech is decent, as long as it doesn't totally fucking break and everybody lose their money, if he can get everybody over there playing the games, then this is going to be a massive winner.
So let me ask you this. What are you guys, if you have something in Blast. What are you guys going to do? Going to keep it there? Do you think you're going to be? I mean, obviously the safe thing would be not to cash out completely, right? I think that's the sensible thing to do, but I'm curious.
The thing that I would be doing right now is looking at this group of winners and getting on all of these protocols. Because again, the idea behind having this competition was rewarding these teams with a bunch of points. And then those teams were going to share it with users of those protocols.
Well,
So-
right now, some of them have their protocols out in beta, and if you want to play around with them, you can get yourself some Sepolia Ethereum, bridge it over to Sepolia Blast, and play around with it. Some of
Exactly.
them are there, and they have the same mechanics as Blast: spin the wheel, touch my ass, all that shit. You know.
Biggie, I feel like you're picking a fight with like you're kind of.
I am.
You're picking a fight with.
I like to shoulder check shit that
Yeah.
everybody fucking
But this
loves.
is not the one. It feels like there's other things that people really
I don't
like.
give a fuck. I need to see if that shit's sturdy. You know, I just see people fucking, fanboying over this shit. I mean, I get it. It's a simplistic. I'm playing the fucking game, all right? It's a sign of a fucking civilized mind to be able to hold two opposing thoughts and not fucking. But I like to shoulders check these things, especially when everybody's just like fucking blindsided by like how magnificent, like, everybody's writing threads about it and all that shit. I think
Yeah.
it deserves a nice little, and see what happens.
It does. I mean, it's good to have that kind of pushback on it. I have not
And I
seen.
do the same with Say too.
Fair. Actually, I mean, yeah. So I love it, and it's needed. You have to have people push back. I am still scared to death of new tech and the potential. What's the word I'm looking for? Holes that people can discover in it. I am like that. I am scared to death of something like that. Even on Ethereum, on a chain that's been around for that long, like that always worries me.
I
That's what
shoulder
keeps
check
me out of
Ethereum
things.
all the time,
Yeah.
especially with ETH maxis. I love having that combo if it's intelligent, right? Like, but I do feel a lot of people sometimes when you push them that way, you really find out either how knowledgeable they are about this space, or you test their conviction, and sometimes you come out even more bullish on the other side.
Absolutely.
What I hate being in is in an echo chamber where everybody's like, "Oh yeah, fucking Blast is amazing. It's gonna be fucking great. Oh my god, can't wait fucking Blast."
I mean,
Are
no
we
one
that
is-
eco? Are we
Right.
that echo chamber though? Are we?
Sometimes, not you guys, but I do see it sometimes in the spaces, and that's why I
Yes.
like to fucking poke the bear in the motherfucking suit and see what comes out the other side.
All right, so I was super interested in who they were rewarding, right? To see if they were going to lean into a specific sector. It looks all across the board. I guess you could have predicted that, but you see spot dexes. There's some winners here. Perp dexes, of which one I believe is, I thought I saw Wasabi on here. Juice Finance is interesting because we've already seen that announcement that they are rewarding Pudgy Penguins and Wassies with some of these points that they're getting from winning this competition. A couple others. Let's see. GambleFi. So we got the Central Games. That is one that's been on Ethereum previously. SocialFi. We have a social finance app. Cambria is a digital native RuneScape inspired game. God, if you can give me RuneScape on chain, I will literally, I'll do weird things. Wasabi there, NFTs and gaming. So you have the leverage, again, perps for NFTs. Let's see. Any others that you want to mention here, guys?
So-
there's
Sent you
a
the
bunch.
3 NFTs I'm following. PFP.
Gelato is interesting.
Which one?
They're in the private chat. Yeah, Gelato's great. It's been around for a while though, right, D?
Yeah, it's been around for a while. I was surprised to see that they were going over the black. I'm silent right now because I'm really just waiting to see what happens when mainnet launches. Because, man, listen. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts surrounding it, and Biggie knows. Like, he and I kind of share the same sentiment, where it's like, oh man, listen. I still don't know what the obsession with this shit is. I mean, I get it. And I know, Marty, if you haven't researched it, then you're talking shit about. I've looked at it. I still don't understand, like what so much hype is about. I understand what people are generally excited about, but all this, this is the next best shit since the release of crypto itself. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Where are y'all hanging
but
out?
I'm
Y'all are
reserved.
hanging out in like Blast Discord.
I've seen none of this.
Yeah,
I've seen literally none of it.
That's just fucking like bag bias nonsense moon boy talk. It's good to have, experienced hands like Biggie to poke holes in this shit, and that's part of what we do. The one thing on that list, so again, like I'm still learning about like what are these different things, which are the ones I'm going to want to play. To answer Biggie's question, what I've put over there is, some small amount of ETH. Like I'm in like less than half an ETH right now. Like I bridged some. I'm going to leave that there and play around with what's there and see. But that list of like apps and dApps, what everybody's expecting is that a lot of them are going to be wanting to reward or attract the liquidity from the bridgers. And so this sort of like list of people that are getting the airdrop, who are the bridging people, everybody's expecting that there's going to be quite a few other sort of cascading waterfalls of rewards as a bunch of these protocols try and launch their tokens, launch their products, and attract those bridgers to come and play. So to me, it's like, I just want to be there. I want to have some at least small stake so that hopefully I'm on that list, that I'm in the game when everybody's expecting that there's going to be a lot of value accrued and created in that network. That's all I think about it right now. I don't know what the specific things are I'm going to do yet, but what I've put over there, I'm not expecting to move out anytime soon.
All right, guys, we're just in the middle of this Blast conversation. There's a couple other things I definitely want to hit on. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We're going to go for another 15 more minutes. Also, if you like these guys up here, leave a like here on YouTube, either live or afterwards. If you're on X, we see y'all watching over there as well. All right, any last thoughts here on Blast? Biggie, I did have these pieces that you brought up: Blast Punks, Blast City, and Blastopians.
I don't want people to think I'm fudding fucking Blast. I'm playing the game, folks. These are the 3 PFP NFT projects that I'm following, that I hear most talked about. And the one I like the most is New Blast City. These are like,
Yeah.
All right. They kind of look like mega punks to me, but hey, you never know which one's going to hit. So you track all of them. This one is the one I hear most talked about, most touted. It's got the cyberpunk, look. We'll see.
Looks all right.
Yeah, those are going to do well. I can just tell those are going to do well.
Yeah, Marty, I said something good about it. The art looks good, brother.
This reminds me of, what project does this remind you of? What was the name of the ETH project that had the blockheads? It was like there were blocks, there were robots.
No, yeah, dude, I still have 2 of those. I think. Or maybe I offload them at some point.
Ronan would know it.
That was such a hype project. I aped in and spent way too much on it, and I can't even remember the fucking name.
Hold up, Huda, you're having them on the show? On the Lil Nouns?
We did last night, yeah.
How was it?
That was pretty excellent.
You didn't say anything about it, right?
Yeah, what the
I literally thought I did.
Did you?
I thought like before this, like actually like pre-show.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, what about the...
Well, what did you think? Did you get a good
fancy
vibe?
Folks out in the audience?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like I have no exposure to Blast, none. And I know very little about it. So that was my opportunity to hear about it really for the first time. Because like to Biggie's point, like the people are talking about these things and there is no product out yet. There still is nothing. So I just have trouble understanding why people are excited for Blast in general.
It's
hearing
money
from a project
raining down from
it's
for sure. It's just
fertile
betting on
land.
innovation.
Just
but
like
hearing from projects that are building and actually
land.
something
It
I
is.
see here too. Like
wait. I just want to address something.
You want to set up shop where there's money. It's like a brand new city, and you're in it. It's potentially pretty open for you to set up shop in. And people have
I'm
money.
shocked that Huda's not. Yeah, I'm shocked. Especially because he's like interviewing their projects and shit already. Real quick. Yes, but real quick. Kerry Ross, I think the website's blast.io. I'm pretty sure that's it. And then Nifty Q for you. It hit me. It's Vogu.
Vogu, yes. Good call.
Yeah, I just want to address a few comments that I'm finding funny. Marty is he's so triggered and typing so fast that he's basically contradicting himself. First comment: How new is the Blast Take if it's stop leaving comments, Marty. You messing me up. How new is the blast tech if it's basically optimism? Why not hate on OP? Makes no sense. But then says, are you using Arbor OP? Why not? Because they suck. But if blast is basically OP, doesn't that mean that blast sucks as well? Like, bro, like calm down.
Yeah, I think like it would behoove you a little bit just to, I don't know, have you played around with optimism before, Marty? Or like the difference between an optimistic and a ZK roll up and like their pros and cons. I think that's what we're talking about when we're like trying to make sense of the tech. No tech expert here, but I've done some research. Just trying to figure out how this is going to play. I'm excited for it, man. I hope, like I said, I hope I'm right in my guess that he's applying like a modular fucking stack and that it's going to be this like crazy architecture that nobody thought of employing, and that it's going to be substantially better than base or optimism as it is, or any ZK that may be coming up. That's what we're talking about here, the tech, bro.
The interest around Blast is, again, Biggie did the money symbol. It's like if you want to set up shop in the middle of a packed fucking mall, that's where you want to be. And oh, by the way, you don't have to pay for real estate in this mall. Like it's the internet. You go where the packed amount of people, liquidity. I don't see where the disconnect is between like, why is this so exciting? It's because there's a fuck ton of money, fuck ton of people, and it's managed by
the users. It's the users, silly. Like, come on. This is the thing that's been killing me so much about this, is that it's really obvious at the end of the day. You need the users, you need the liquidity. You have to have people there playing your games and using your apps.
The argument, like why we needed it, I guess I could get behind that. Like, why do you need another one? We already have a packed fucking mall over here. Let's
native
just be
yield. No. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. It's Pac-Man literally looking at the landscape saying L2s are gonna go fucking batshit crazy. I can do it better. That's all it is. There was nothing other than the fact that Pac-Man said, I can fucking build an L2 and I bet I can smoke all these motherfuckers.
Now the question is, can I smoke these motherfuckers based on the tech, or can I smoke these motherfuckers because I know how to build Ponzi's like no one's fuking business? Right?
No.
I think it's a little bit of both, man. Yeah.
You better, if we're gonna play musical chairs, you just better know that at some point the music's gonna stop. And so that's I think like that's what I'm trying to do for myself right now. It's like temper my expectations and like try to not imbibe the Kool-Aid to a point where all of a sudden I lock all my shit there and I'm the last one standing, right? Like that's all. Like I think it's important for people that are going in there to just not, I don't know, temper yourselves a little bit. I do see a lot of fucking like fanboying, and that just automatically, because of past experiences, it doesn't mean that it's going to be so in this one. It just makes my spider sense tingle. It's like
Huda was raising this question when we were first talking about Blast. But how bad do you guys think this is for Ethereum and something like a Say and these other layer 2s, the base? You can mention all of them. Like, do you guys think this will actively affect it?
I see this as one of those things that ultimately makes the Ethereum ecosystem stronger. Like, does it maybe impact certain apps or dApps or projects on like ETH mainnet? Sure. But this is an Ethereum L2 that requires Ethereum at the end of the day, right?
They're gonna have a Blast token, no?
No, I know, but at the end of the day, it's all going through with ETH. No,
ETH is gonna be the gas.
That's all I'm saying. So to me, it's like all of this strengthens the Ethereum network. I think you can absolutely argue that like it means that some of the attention is gonna get pulled away from the Ethereum mainnet projects. Like that's probably true, but I don't think it hurts Ethereum. Maybe I'm getting into, maybe that's not what you meant, but like it's a little bit semantic.
All right, we just closed the poll. Are you using Magic Eden now? 57% of you said Magic Eden. OpenSea got 19%. Blur got 19%. Rarible got 4%. Man, shout out to y'all that are still using OpenSea.
Poor Rarible. Man, I want Rarible to win.
They're likable, right? It's just
make a better product.
They should change their name to Likeable.
Got him. All right.
Wow, Marty Cardano Cardano of all mentions. Who even talks about Cardano anymore?
Marty,
Huda was posting their NFTs.
Y'all were the one that voted us to cover Wax first.
Huda was covering Cardano NFTs yesterday. Apparently, the average NFT price is over $100 on Cardano.
Love it. They've got a very small but very hardcore community. They just do. So
user is saying, why does Blast or anyone think people want to use Blast for anything other than selling points after they destroyed the NFT market? Plus now the insider groups has protocol level insight.
Yeah, that's probably all legit. I don't know who user is, but like they're probably onto something here.
There was a post that I put in GM Web 3 that was basically he was commenting on it. Ethereum Damien's one of my favorite follows. He's been on the pulse of like Pandora. Is it Pandora? Am I saying it right?
That 404 collection?
Yeah, Pandora. And a couple other things. He was early to Friend Tech as well. And he was commenting on a post of somebody saying like, is Blast going to be the most PvP environment that we've seen from any other chain? And Damien was basically saying, yeah, I don't see how it can't not be the most PvP. So again, without any experience and kind of leaning on, Damien's, thought process when he's getting into this, he's agreeing with somebody saying this is going to be a super PvP environment on this chain.
Well, it's because it's going to be a lot of DeFi people in general, right? Like a lot of mercenary cap, a lot of people that are just there to make money. Yeah, exactly. So it's probably true. It's going to be a very cutthroat environment. Everybody just trying to make a bag, and then probably like Biggie said, expecting that at some point the carousel stops or whatever, and you got to fucking get out before everybody else. That's probably what it is. So yeah, be smart, be wary of that as you go in. I did want to bring up, Q, because you brought up the marketplace or the mall analogy. Have y'all ever seen the Dave Chappelle show Internet Mall?
Of course.
That's I can't remember the clip.
It's fucking epic. So yeah, maybe go back and revisit that one where he basically creates the internet as a mall, because that's literally what it made me think of. It's basically that.
Also, I want to say that we aren't necessarily footing the project. We're having a discussion.
Thank you,
bro, get out of your feelings. Like, what's up? I've never seen bro this emotional.
Both Marty and Biggie on both sides of this have been super emotional, and I'm just like, what's the deal?
Passion.
Here?
Yeah, it's really passion. Wait, replace emotion with passionate.
My bad.
Like
look, I'll tell you exactly what it is. I think Marty feels that questioning things is FUD because he may be overexposed in Blast. And I may be also maybe somewhat like fucking emotional too because I'm underexposed.
About cappies.
Been more exposed, but I'm fine with it, Marty. It's cool. Like there's opportunities abound. I don't take it as FUD. It's just intelligent conversation, questioning things. It's important. You should.
This is an important point in general.
I'm here for the art. First of all, this is the art I'm here for. Wassie's up to almost 200% on 7
I actually like these. These are like, are these platypus penguins? Is that what I'm looking at? Because I fucking love that, actually.
It's supposed to be like a hybrid of like, I think 3 animals.
This is my first time seeing it, and my immediate reaction, it does look like Psyduck a little bit, but my immediate reaction.
The couches are hilarious. The more rare ones are like on a couch, and they're.
I don't love the toilet paper trait necessarily, but my immediate reaction to the character is I think it's funny and cute and has a memeable, a very memeable characteristic about it. But I like the point of just taking a step back and remembering that like. A lot of people get caught up in this stuff because they have their money tied to it. Bag bias is real. A lot of people put a lot of themselves into this space. And so it's easy to get caught up defending things or getting into arguments. We're just trying to have interesting, intelligent conversations. And so just remember that. Be wary of your own biases and not taking any of this shit too seriously, because it's all fucking gambling. This is all fucking speculative bullshit gambling on JPEGs. Let's just remember that.
I mean, we could argue too. It's good for content.
Yeah, it's fun.
Marty, if you want to keep bringing the smoke, come on.
All right. Remember this day, by the way, February 27th, so that you can go back to these NFT floor price charts. I'm interested in what Magic Eden. I know, again, it's tough to say, like, this Ethereum marketplace, now we're going to inflection up. It's like we're at the beginning of a bull market. Like, it doesn't mean that this was the reason why everything's going up. So it's tough to kind of judge that. But I am going to look back on this date. Did Magic Eden have an effect? All right, YOLO Blast. This will be the last thing we touch on. What's going on here?
This was not new. I mean, it came out this morning. I don't know if you saw it, but just on topic here with Blast and the type of names investing in it, and certainly we're about to get a very gamified experience over there. It's going to be fun if that's your thing.
FLC. Yeah, FLC, Dingaling, 9gag. Yeah. Okay.
NFT
All right,
stats is going to meme land. We haven't really talked about that. Because, I mean, everybody talks about the same shit, so I'm glad we haven't really given it more coverage than it needs. But, hey, that's cool. And interesting to see what Meme Land will do with that kind of content. Maybe they are going to be going more into the content network aesthetic, too. Because, again, 9gag is very much like a media organization originally, right? So...
Exactly. So I went over to Stats' post, and Huda, we can jump into that here as well. A kid called Beast joins the fray and can no longer be traded on OpenSea, Blur, or Looks Rare.
Yeah, we saw that already for Codas. It's super interesting seeing them kind of. It feels like they go offline basically, but yeah. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of this, I guess. I was shocked too. Is kind of like off topic, but seeing the collections from Yuga Labs that it doesn't even support as far as the new what is it? CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, all those stuff, you can still trade anywhere. That was my point. Like, I was surprised to see those are unaffected still.
I have to be careful where I go from this. I do think potentially there is like a conversation that an open economy and an open kind of market is this private company saying, no, I don't want to be traded here. But I know the initial take's awesome. Let's do this. But now what I originally thought was my asset is now obviously being shown as like, you can't trade that here. Like, you're not allowed to do those things here. When NFTs first started, there was none of that. It was a wide open kind of just, there's gates being put up here is what I'm trying to say. I get that is an open market, so I guess I can be talked into it. But part of me is like, I can see like Web 2 in some of these moves. You know what I mean? I thought that I had full control. And
this is the interesting thing that's coming to a head here is that creators believe that they should have some kind of say and control as well, just like you, the user, deserves to have some kind of control over your assets. You are benefiting by having this asset, having that control, actually owning it, being able to flip it and trade and make value out of this thing that I created. But also, I created it with a certain understanding when I launched it of how I want it to be used as well. I should have some kind of say. So that's the creator argument. Again, you can argue against that, but understand that for the history of forever, artists have never had the mechanisms to actually capture a lot of the value that they create in the world. Understand that for the history of this art, especially for the entire history of digital art, digital artists have been completely undervalued and cut out of their value almost entirely because there's been no way to create any sort of scarcity or mechanism by which digital artists can seriously make anything from their skill set. So this is a revolutionary new paradigm for a lot of different reasons, but understand that through the history of art, if an artist sold something for $100 and then it was reselling years later for $100,000 or $1 million, they never got anything more than $100. And that's why they all died fucking poor. Most artists didn't, they lived miserable lives, never could even survive. And then after, the best they could hope for was being famous after they're dead, right? Like,
I want the co-host take. We have a ton of comments. Squash is saying Pepe is still pumping and not a single Pepe post on my timeline. Very interesting. Christian Jensen saying captains are instant S tier after the stats higher. User coming through. Fudding Blast. Here we go. And I don't say FUD, just being critical. Blast is nothing more than a VC payday for the same people who destroyed NFTs by the looks of it. XNFT Neo Tokyo did it too. They took their a collection offline on OpenSea and Blur. QV saying punks and apes are OG contracts that can't be changed anymore without wrapping. All right.
So
guys.
I have a question about Pepe pumping. So does this kick off round 2 of the meme token pump? And does it ceremoniously kick off the official bull run?
Yes, why not? All of that.
What's the official?
So is it
bull run?
is it Doge of the last bull? Because remember, Doge was like the
It's
kinda like
pure
the
speculation.
The opening bell.
So okay, I'll just briefly say my thesis on it was that like if any big meme coin has the potential to like be the next Doge or Shiba, it would probably be Pepe. That was part of my thesis. And if you try and look at the multiples that they do in their market caps and then do a rough estimation, then Pepe could easily go 5x from where it's already at, maybe even higher in a true bull run. So all this is total fucking degen math, the most speculative high risk shit you can do, not financial advice, but that is my speculation. I think that Pepe absolutely in this next bull run can maybe do half of what Shiba's doing at least, you know.
At that point, does that make it just like a 2x? Like
no, I think that's like a 5x from here, or at least like 3 to 5x from here.
All right, guys, we have to close out the show here in just a moment. The last story that we had that was I mean, there's a ton that is worthy of discussion. A ton of tokens are pumping. All of these things happening on Base, Say, Blast. I think we did a good job on today. So yeah.
And real quick, one last thought on the Blast thing is that I think you're right that this is absolutely an insider fucking payday, but also again, that doesn't mean that a bunch of the other people that are participating in it also won't get rewarded for that, right? So yeah, money creates more money. That's how that works.
Yeah, you're right, because that's the case for them. Everything that's launched in Web3, like the insiders get there first for the payday, and then hopefully number keeps going up until everybody else can get paid, or at least a good amount of people. But yeah, let's go to the last story, Q.
Yeah, we also had something come up from Biggie. I did have let's just hit on these two real quick. I did have Aerodrome pulled up. This token continues to just melt. I mean, they had an announcement about Base Ventures or Coinbase Ventures.
I followed you into it, my friend. You made a thing about it like not too long ago, right? Like 2 days ago. I was like, yes. I need base exposure. I need more base exposure.
That's a great thing to see. So yeah, glad that worked out. It looks like they just got listed on Coinbase. That was that's why that token pumped massively. Also off this Base ecosystem fund news. So yeah, Aerodrome's still doing well. There's a couple pools that offer APR for it and things like that. If you're interested, again, I don't give out financial advice. I just kind of talk about what I'm doing. Biggie 7, what's going on with Red Rum here?
Dude, I just didn't want to leave you guys without a daily dose of fucking fire art. I am a huge Red Rum fan, and this collection I've been anticipating for a while. It's called 7. It's based on the 7 deadly sins, and I posted mine on the socials, and I think you'll like it, Q. But yeah, I'm obsessed, man. This guy is super talented. Of course. So yeah,
that's
man.
Awesome.
I just want you guys to check it out. It's really great work by a tremendous artist. I mean, like him and Delta Sauce are, in my opinion, right there, at the heels of, some of the best AI artists out there. And so you should definitely check it out.
It's dropping that link.
It's definitely one of those things that looks like it's good quality and has, again, that like the very memorable sort of unique look to it. Like he's created a specific feel that's consistent. That's like you see it and you kind of almost immediately know, like those, like the nice aunties. It's like when you see it, it's like, okay, you're like, oh, I know what that is. It created a very unique composition, palette, style, setting. Like these all kind of have a pretty consistent theme and style and feel to them. So yeah, it's a cool concept, of course. Like,
all right,
the 7 deadly sins.
Last piece here, Portal Coin this was all over the timeline for about
anticipated, huh?
2 or 3 weeks period. Like for maybe a month, Portal Coin was the only thing you saw on your timeline. They gamified the kind of Twitter activity, all of that stuff to its max. I mean, the Portal just, you could not escape it. I almost had to mute it from my timeline. For a while, they kind of went dark. And now what you're seeing is that people who farm this correctly and were top farmers are going to receive a massive payday. So there's OTC trading happening. The coin is not live yet. So the OTC stuff, I don't know exactly how.
Blast, right?
Yes.
That's
This is why I'm moving my drop, by the way. Dropper's moving to next week because everything decided to launch on the 29th, apparently.
So
I have a question because you were playing this Portal Coin thing, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't go crazy because I hate the shilliness of it, but I got like 17 or 1800 shards. But I don't think that that's enough to get like a massive anything. I'm sure I'll get a little bit of something.
If you have 1800 shards,
where would you take said liquidity after you get your Portal Coin? You're going to stay with Portal Coin, or you maybe move to Blast? And
so so the things that I have conviction on right now, there's I guess you could say 5 things. There's a lot of things I have conviction on, but it's going to go into any of these places where I feel like they're at a local bottom where I can get good value, right? So
could we finish this Portal Coin discussion before we get here?
Sure. Well, it is about Portal. He's asking me where I'm going to go with it. He's asking me where I'm going to go. But look, it's. I'll just say this: Say, Base, Bitcoin Ordinals, Blast, and then just high quality established art NFTs in general. Those are the 5 things I have conviction on.
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
All right. Now back into Portal. You might have a ton of points actually. Gifted there, 1,800. I think some of these are trading for $6 a pop. So you might get.
That's
something
crazy. I don't believe that's gonna hold.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it because I didn't farm.
So was that being traded on whales like pre-market?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I could even find that for y'all. I'll be able to get this. Huda,
how do people do that?
Huda, you
How
probably
do you even
covered this on your 5-minute update. Can you give me some talk on Portal here?
I actually don't cover it. I cover tokens like coins very seldomly. So I don't have a lot of insight into it other than, man, I regret not doing the farming thing. Sometimes I'm too protective of my timeline, which I know that doesn't matter one bit. But I'm more excited. I'm looking forward to like the gaming integration. Like I'm pretty sure we're still getting some kind of PUBG announcement with Portal integration, I think. So at least what I was hoping from teases a couple months back, you know?
Yeah, they really they hyped up. They did announcements of announcements that never announced anything. It's kind of shitty. Because they said we're gonna have the biggest announcement in Web3 gaming history, and then just nothing. It was fucking ridiculous. But it also garnered them more attention than anything that you've ever seen, and got them Binance deals. So like they've got 350,000 followers on Twitter now. I don't understand how you sell these shards ahead of time. Like the people that are doing this, how do you even do that? Like you sell your account, I guess. Like you just farm it on a wallet that you then sell, or like
I'm not sure how they're farming this on whales. Biggie, do you have a take here? Also, Prado is saying Portal selling for $750 right now.
Yeah, I have not used whales before, but it's something you might want to check out. GIF. I've seen. I think was it like the Jupe drop the first time that people were selling this OTC. I don't know how it works. GIF. I imagine it like you have to sign some type of contract or whatever. I don't know. It must be automated, right, or something. But it's interesting. I think like I've seen several tokens. I think maybe it was Alt, the last one, but like. I have noticed a trend that they trade a little bit higher than once they're released to market. So that might be some alpha going down the line to play with future airdrops, you know, especially the ones you don't have too much conviction on. I don't know. Portal people are pretty bullish on, kind of like Blast.
This shit is so crazy.
Yeah, maybe you can sell half of it, or
it's just so crazy that we're literally talking about people selling and speculating on speculative airdrop tokens before. This world is so fucking ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, people bet on the color of Taylor Swift's dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I was
it's
literally going to say that. Yeah, it's just crazy that like people are out there literally leveraging up on what is a unspecified new shitcoin airdrop going to be.
So Prado saying Portal selling for 750. Trader Blue saying shards are not points, but pre-sale got points, I believe. So there's maybe a little bit of nuance to this.
Yeah, like what's the conversion for shards? The point, like, I don't know, man.
All right, let's go around the box here real quick. DP, what's up?
Now I was just gonna say, man, I think it's a lot going on right now, and I think before the bull run officially kicks off, I think it's kind of time for people to focus up and at least kind of start taking positions in shit that you really believe in, and then just play around with the rest. But right now, don't get caught up into all of these announcements because it's literally too much shit coming out every day. So whatever you've been having your eye on, like make sure you at least have as much of a position as you want to have.
It's a great take.
Fantastic.
Guys, we're going to end out the episode here. I mean, I didn't really have that. That's how I would summarize it.
You're kicking us out, Q.
Well, Q, one of your favorite memes is that whole thing, like, can you just know when to sit on your hands and not overclick buttons? I think that's basically what DP is saying, is just remember that there's a million shiny objects and everybody's trying to get you to click on buttons, click on links, FOMO into some shit. And more often than not, you're going to do better just sitting on your conviction plays. And not, or you could go try and do everything, chase the shiny object, and maybe that works out for 5% of people.
And I'm just saying it from experience because I know that when this shit takes off, it happens very, very fast. Like you'll fucking go to sleep and wake up and be priced out of the market or be priced at a price that you really didn't want to buy in.
Because Asia's one day ahead of us.
Right.
I honestly see Portal Coin and I'm just like, that thing's gonna pump. Like the markets where it's at, like these angry pumps where you're just like, why there's millions of dollars being distributed and then it just goes up and you're just like, well, there it goes. Doesn't matter what the tokenomics look like.
Marty's back. I thought you had left, Marty. To be honest,
you thought Marty rage quit.
We appreciate you. You know that, and yes, this is your own private Telegram for an hour every day. And we hope we have you here, and I can't wait for Blast to do really well for you, and to see your comments here the day it does. What is it, Friday? I'll be traveling, unfortunately. I'm going to Denver to meet up with other DGens over there, but I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll try to tune in and relish the victory with all of y'all. But I love you all, fam, and honestly, everybody here has had like a ton of experience, and I think what everybody's trying to say is just like, don't be okay with watching stuff pass by and missing stuff. There's many more opportunities coming down the pipe. So just like when you find that one that you really love, then go after it, like Marty did with Blast, and you should be good. And that's it.
Marty, we didn't get triggered when you said FUD. You were accusing us of FUDing. We said we weren't FUDing. We were having a discussion.
This is just an everyday.
But I know Marty.
Take it to
Marty
the
likes
DMs,
this shit.
get a hotel room.
Yeah, he likes it.
All right, DP, Huda, and then GIF, and then I'll take us out.
Yeah, so first of all, big love to the community. Shouts out to Marty, our controversial brother out there that loves to make everybody uncomfortable. We're used to it. Thank you for coming through and kind of spicing things up today. It makes for entertaining content. Also, fam, be sure to support Say What in the morning. Be sure to support Web3 in the morning. Be sure to support NFT Live, and we will return the favor. Love you all. Thank you all for your continuous support and your dedication. And I'm out.
DP's on it today. Who does?
That's beautiful. Let me think. Keep your eyes, guys, on the Crypto Slam comms. We have maybe today was like the first little trickle of info related to that Zeely quest that you may have been doing. And if not, A new sprint is started, I think just yesterday, but there is one live now. And I think certainly right now, shit is starting to ramp up. So yeah, have a look over there. It's kind of spicy. And I do want to tell you guys too, I put out a newsletter today. It's actually going out probably in an hour. I'm probably going to put it in tweet form because I do want you guys to see some certain things about the market. Part we talked about here that we're early in the cycle. But man, that is lining up with us being very, very early in the Bitcoin cycle too, man. It's like you got this perfect storm brewing, and I do not want people to miss this. So be on the lookout for that too.
Yeah, don't be like Nifty Q fading Bitcoin ordinals right now. I did the new Zealy quest. I think I'm top 50 right now. And Huda's throwing fucking Algorand quiz facts at you. Like, Jesus, what is with that? But anyway, yeah, I'm over there. And I'm also with Biggie that I look forward to coming back on these shows and celebrating everybody's wins. I would much rather celebrate you winning than to be dancing on people's graves any day. So even if I miss it, I'm very excited whenever the fam is winning. And Droppers is going to move to next week. So just remember that. It was going to be Thursday. There's too much shit happening this week. So look for an update. Thank you.
All right, y'all. We got to run. This was NFT Live, our Vibe, our tribe. See you tomorrow.